2012, 27 to 28 years old. This year was a really amazing year in terms of spiritual growth and awakening to the truth of peace, love, enjoyment, and oneness. I made a lot of progress in spiritually growing. I improved even more on loving myself more and more. I felt more attractive, and that made me become even more beautiful and radiant. When I say love myself, I mean when a person loves themselves, it means that they love every part of themselves. They are comfortable in their own skin. I noticed girls were checking me out more and more, and they seemed to be more attracted to me. I went to a New Year's party with some of my friends, and I was invited to a New Year's Eve party. I went on a road trip. I went on a road trip earlier at the very end of 2011, and I was loving myself, and I was really appreciating how I felt in it, and I felt really good. When I got home, I felt so happy. I decided to call someone I know from Uni Church, and I started talking to them. I normally would have felt really nervous, but being that I loved myself, I felt confident, and I decided to talk to that person. She ended up inviting me to a New Year's Eve party, and I was really excited. I had so much fun at the party. I had really good food, and I really enjoyed hanging out with my friend. And little did I expect, Ella Cara ended up being there too, and I haven't met her in a while. It was really fun to see her. We talked the whole night. And we talked for the whole night. I only saw her once in a while before then at Reiki Kling, and during the rest of the time I only talked to her on Facebook, but it was really neat to see her in person, since I haven't seen her much since once in a while at Reiki Clinic, and we haven't really hung out since I hung out with Ken, and I haven't seen Ken in a while because he was really busy in his business. We talked for a while. After the New Year's Eve ball dropped, it was really exciting for 2012 to start. I had a feeling 2012 would have been a good year, and it was. We decided to hang out again on New Year's Day, and we had a lot of fun. We just chilled out. We sat by the fire, and then to our surprise, we decided, why don't we hang out again? So we decided to hang out again. We decided to go to a club and just have fun, just watching people dance and stuff. We decided to go to a gay club. We thought that would just be kind of fun to do. We decided to hang out kind of regularly as friends. However, one night we hung out at another one of our friends' places to have dinner. We had fun and really enjoyed the dinner, and then we played with their kids and goofed off, and we had fun. Later that night, our friend decided to leave to drop one of the kids off somewhere, and Ella Cara and I were alone. I decided to leave, however, and head home because I was tired. Right when I left, I suddenly realized I should not have left. I realized, man, cuddling with Ella Cara would have been really awesome. I think that would have been cool. I never thought about that. That never even crossed my mind as we were friends up until this point. And I had a feeling I had this weird feeling that she wanted to too. However, I wasn't sure for certain, so I decided to proceed and head home. The next day, Ella Cara called me and told me she wished I didn't leave. I told her I wish I didn't either. After we told each other that, we really didn't say anything else. And we kind of left it at that. And we continued to be friends, and we continued to just hang out and have fun. We continued to go to the gay club and just have fun. We danced together, and we just kind of had fun. I even told her that after that, I wished I could connect with a beautiful girl and have a girlfriend. Even in spite of after that night, I didn't think of it anything as we were just friends. I usually don't even talk about this kind of stuff to other women, but I talked to her about it because I knew we were friends, and I felt comfortable to just share everything about her. One night we decided to hang out. One night we called each other and decided to hang out one night. Just hang out for the night. And we made plans that night. But I had a special feeling about this night. Something just kind of felt interesting. We made an agreement that we were going to go hang out over at Folly Beach. It was one of my favorite beaches, and I just had this really interesting feeling. So I decided to go on a road trip during that day. I went on a really long road trip, and it was a lot of fun. I wanted to make it like a movie, like all those other road trips where it was like a movie where it could have an awesome ending, but it didn't work out. So I decided to make it like this too. I went to Walterboro and I looked at power lines and I walked around the village and I had fun. Once I came back over to the Charleston area, it was time to hang out with Alakara. We went to Folly Beach. We sat at a spot that I considered sacred. I had some very interesting moments in that spot where I connected with things in the past and had some kind of powerful experiences. I brought a little bit of weed with me. I decided to smoke some weed with her. I got the weed from a friend I knew from the movie set that I volunteered at. We took a couple of hits. I'm usually very careful with how much I smoke when I smoke weed. And I usually make a good judgment of how well I can handle it. Sometimes if I smoke too much weed, sometimes I have a hard... I've noticed in the past when I smoke weed, if I get too high, sometimes I get kind of paranoid. This time, however, I didn't really pay attention to how much I smoked. I just decided to take some hits and I didn't even really pay attention. Suddenly, I knew this high was about to hit me hard, and I was like, uh-oh. This level of intensity, I started realizing I was about to get high to a level of intensity that I never felt before. I started freaking out. The whole world seemed so intense. I felt like there was a high chance that I could probably die if I wasn't being careful. I knew I was connected to everything, and I knew being this high, in the state I was in, I could possibly literally create anything and make it happen. And I didn't want to focus on the fact that I could die and focus on that and actually die. I knew there was a lot of stuff I could do on this earth. I knew I could evolve more and maybe help the world awaken, and I didn't want to die yet. I wanted to master all the stuff that I needed to learn in this lifetime. I did not want to have to get reborn again and wait another 20 years to learn the lessons that I could face right now. I wanted to let go of fear. I wanted to confront my biggest fears and learn to accept them. I wanted to, even if that meant never having a girlfriend, never having the opportunity to have that awesome state with being with a girl, connecting with that girl, knowing that she loves me. Even if it meant, if I ever had that opportunity of connecting with a girl and having that opportunity of having that awesome, prideful, ecstatic moment, and having that opportunity, but then not be able to experience it. I wanted to accept it. If I knew I needed to let go of suffering, I knew I needed to confront this fear. And I didn't want to die and not have to confront that challenge and master it. So I really worked hard on focusing on not focus on death. It was a struggle and it was fucking scary. I decided to stay calm though and simply focus on letting go of fear and everything. It was time to let it all go. I decided to let go of all my core fears. I knew I was kind of feeling, I knew I felt attracted to Ella next to me. But I knew that trying to let her know that might be awkward and embarrassing. I was afraid to let her know that I thought she was attractive. I was really afraid. And I didn't know what she would say if I told her that. Would she be offended or not? This was something that made me nervous. And this was my biggest fears of all, was telling a girl that I liked her. And I was really attracted to Ella. I decided that this was my chance to face my fears and not get scared. This was my chance to let go of this fear. So I decided to let her know and not be afraid of the outcome. I looked at Ella. I leaned over to Ella and I decided to hug her. I've never hugged her before. To my surprise, her arms slowly wrapped around my body. I couldn't believe it. We held each other for a minute. I seriously couldn't believe it. She was holding me. She thought I was attractive too. And then I was high, and this made it even more intense. I then decided to move my face towards hers. I decided to move my lips towards hers. And I decided to kiss her. I could tell I felt my lips against hers, and then I started making out with her. The feeling was absolutely amazing, and I felt close, and I paid close attention. Did she like it too? She did. I could tell she liked it too. It felt really amazing. I felt like this moment was something so amazing that no one else has ever experienced it before. It was so intense. I felt like I finally reached that point that I've always wanted to feel. After we kissed, I sat back down with amazement, and I just started to release a ton of fear, a ton of faulty beliefs about myself. That I started releasing all this fear of I'm not good enough. I started releasing it all at once. After that, I just started to completely be myself and not be afraid of what she could think of me. I decided to completely say what was on my mind. I never did that before, not even with a close friend. Not even with the Asperger's group. It wasn't easy to do, and this was a girl I liked, and this was a girl that knew me pretty well, but not on a real deep level. So this was kind of like treading in the unknown. I decided to completely say what was on my mind. I felt compelled that this was the right thing to do. It took a lot of courage, but that's what I did. I decided to talk to her about electricity and whatever came to my mind. And she totally enjoyed it. She enjoyed what I was talking about. She said, "I think I like you when you're confident."